Let's address that title. Not only is Hytale back from the dead, but we have an exclusive interview with its owner, co-founder, co-funder, and fearless leader, Simon Collins Laughlin. For the uninitiated, let's give some backstory. On December 13th, 2018, a trailer for a brand new game in the sandbox genre was announced. This game was Hytale. Development quietly began in 2015 with a team of developers from the Minecraft multiplayer server Hypixel. The game eventually received funding from League of Legends and Valorant studios Riot Games. In 2020, Riot would purchase the studio outright and was planning to publish the game themselves. To say that people were excited for Hytale was an understatement. Within a month, Hytale's announcement trailer amassed 31 million views. In 7 years, 61 million people had seen the trailer, and they were blessed with a glimpse of what could be. While the game's leaders occasionally dropped updates on websites like Twitter, YouTube, and their own, things were weird. 7 years for a block game and no early access, no alpha, beta, no demo. Things looked grim, and then the unthinkable happened. On June 23, 2025, Noxy, the now former CEO of Hypixel Studios, released a statement titled "A Difficult Update About Hytale." In the post, he announced that Hypixel Studios would be closing its doors and the development of Hytale had officially come to an end. He cited technical ambitions growing more complex, looking at reducing scope, adjusting timelines, but all of those factors would have compromised on what made Hytale special in the first place. The studio closed, and the sound of 61 million gamers' hearts breaking could be heard around the internet. Until today, Hytale is back. And now, let's have a chat with Simon. So, first things first, Simon's a busy man, especially right now. He and his team have been extremely hard at work for the past few months trying to bring Hytale back from the dead. Simon wanted to do a call for the interview, but he didn't have time to sit down with us for a recording, so here's how this is gonna go. I'll be reading the questions that we asked Simon, and Michael McChill will be reading Simon's answers while we throw up the text on screen. This is purely for those of you who like listening and want it to be easier to discern what's happening. So, first question. Simon, what have you been doing for the past 5 years? Why buy back Hytale?
When I sold Hytale in 2020, I believed it was the right decision for the team, and I still do. They needed funding and support to deliver the vision that we built together. I was running out of money to keep funding development, and I didn't want to take money from players while big engine and vision changes were still on the table. After the trailer went mega viral in 2019, I received several offers, but I chose Riot because I trusted them to take care of the team and the project. I also didn't feel like I was the right person to lead that next phase. I chose to leave. Given the context, it was the right call. I can't share every detail, but as I've said before, I didn't feel like I could deliver the changes we needed at the time. The sale gave me financial freedom. I focused on my health, started a family, and worked part-time on the Hypixel Minecraft server, which improved revenue and stability for the team. A few years later, some former Hytale developers approached me to start a new studio. Building games together brought back that spark. That's what led me to buy back Hytale and finish what we started. I am way more happy today buying Hytale than I was selling it and getting money. Over the last 5 years, I've realized my happiness comes from creating games. Hytale brings me the most joy. You can live edit, experiment, fail fast, build mini games, and push ideas with no limit. I'm grateful to have the chance to work on it again with such a great team.
When Hytale was first shown off in 2018, its reveal was quite ambitious. How has the core vision of the game changed since then, if at all?
I stepped away from decision-making around mid-2019 and left the company in 2020, so I can't comment on anything that happened after that. Today I have the chance to revisit the original vision shown in the trailer. I'm working toward a clear milestone to reach that trailer vision as soon as possible. A few things will need to change because the industry has evolved, tools have advanced, and the reality of the genre has shifted. We'll explain those changes when they happen. One example is instead of relying on our old custom tools for models and animations, we're working with Blockbench. Going back to the original vision also means returning to a 4-year-old build running on the same engine used for the trailer. That build was never meant to ship in a few weeks, so there's a lot of cleanup and problem solving ahead to get that working. I'd like the community to keep its expectations low for now. At the same time, I'll put in the work for the next few years to deliver a great game, and the players will be along for the ride very soon.
How long were you in development before the initial announcement of Hytale?
I was involved from the very beginning. I funded the project myself for the first 3 years. We began exploring ideas in 2015, started real development in 2016, and became more active in 2017. I was closely involved in the early stages before the trailer and worked with the team on the trailer, which helped solidify the vision.
Do you have any regrets with the original trailer?
No, I loved the original trailer, which clearly communicated the vision. It was ambitious, but achievable. It was the vision I wanted for Hytale and still want today. Back then, we needed to show players and creators what we were aiming for and to confirm we were heading in the right direction. It helped us decide if growing the team made sense at the time. That trailer worked well. It helped secure incredible funding, which unfortunately led to my exit. However, it provided the team with the resources and experienced people they needed. Given my situation at the time, it was still the right call.
What experience do you most want players to have when they play Hytale for the first time?
I want players to feel at home. Imagine coming back from school right as the holiday break starts. That feeling of being safe, comfortable, and excited to settle in. That's what I want Hytale to give you the first time you play it. I also want creative players to feel a spark of new ideas. I want them to use our content, shape your own experiences, and feel excited to share what you make.
For those who have been waiting since 2018, what can players expect from the game?
Let's set realistic expectations. Many features will be missing at launch. Many games that were shown or talked about in the past won't be there on day one. There will be bugs, and it will feel like real early access. We will need the community to help us move forward. Right now, the game is not good enough in my opinion, and I'm aware of that. Modding already has a lot to offer, but we want to add more tools and features for modders, server owners, and map makers. There is so much missing, but we need to get the game out and we need to break the curse. We will work hard over the next months and years to reach our original vision. I have spent more than 15 years working in this game genre. I know the direction I want to take the game, and the team is aligned. We have years of development to catch up on compared to other similar games. If we can produce at high rates, we will get where we want to be. Players will get a game that is cared for by its owners. This is our legacy project and our long-term project.
What message do you want to give to fans who have been waiting for years and may feel skeptical?
I can only earn their trust by making a good game. After all these years, words don't mean much. I'm here for the long run, and they can join whenever they feel the game deserves their time, early or later.
You previously sold Hypixel Studios to Riot Games, and they were frankly gracious enough to sell it back to you. If somebody else came up with an open wallet, would you even give them a look?
This time around, no amount of money could make a difference in my life. Back then, it allowed me to become financially free and do great things, which allowed me to even repurchase Hytale. What I enjoy the most in life is working with talented people, and this gives me exactly that. From engineering to art, it's great. Retirement was not great, honestly. I only find joy in solving difficult problems, and Hytale happens to be one difficult beast. I thrive on high-stress environments, and this is very exciting to me.
Do you envision a point in Hytale's story mode where the story will end and the credits will roll?
I think the way I see Hytale is there will be no credits rolling. We'll keep releasing chapters to the story and adventure as years go by, a bit like how MMOs tell their stories.
Will there be a defined endpoint in Hytale's development?
The game will continue to receive ongoing updates for many years to come. I don't see an endpoint. I have 2 kids, aged 2 and 3, and I want them to grow up playing Hytale through many future updates. The reality is that I'm taking time away from my family to save Hytale, time away from my kids that I will not get back. So the least I can do is try my best to make a great game so they can enjoy it and be proud. I want to share great moments with my children in Hytale and create core memories.
On the topic of actual development, what does your roadmap look like? Is there anything that players should be looking out for?
The first task is to launch early access as soon as possible. We will need some time to clean up, fix crashes, and make sure it's somewhat okay to be played. Secondly, we want to create a decent gameplay loop to keep players engaged for a bit while we're working on long-term goals. We're adding mechanics such as portals and memories, which will be explained at a later date. Making a living world will be a top priority for us. It will require a significant amount of work to make the game feel like a living world. Some players will just want to take care of their farm, their home, and socialize with their friends. We want to support that. The roadmap will be a bit all over the place initially as we adapt to the game. I also want to keep some surprises. However, let's aim towards the trailer vision first.
You're doing a supported creator system. Do you have any comments on what inspired that and where it might end up in the future?
We have had great success with this approach in the past, having paid millions of dollars to content creators, which has enabled some of them to earn an additional income on top of their YouTube channel and allowed some to make YouTube their full-time career. It's a win-win situation all around, and I want to give back to the people who have supported my journey all these years.
What does success look like for Hytale now? And how do you define it differently than before, if at all?
Success for Hytale is now simple to me. Release it as soon as possible and continue updating it for a long time, one feature at a time. Eventually, it will click and be great. The truth is, the prime window for a massive, successful launch has passed. Our job now is to focus, work hard, and finish the game after the early access launch. Hytale would have had a much bigger impact if everything landed at once, but that level of pressure isn't realistic. Getting the game out and improving it step by step is what success looks like today.
For the people who have never heard of Hytale and only know of you from your Minecraft server Hypixel, why should they buy your game?
I see Hytale as the natural evolution of Hypixel minigames. Think of it like Hypixel 2. We could bring new ideas to life with features like proximity voice chat to create new social games, better combat mechanics, and experiences we could never dream of before. We also want to bring classics. This time, we are in complete control of our own destiny.
If you could say one thing directly to the players who never stopped believing, what would that be?
The community is the #1 reason I went through with this. The support I've received kept me motivated through the whole process and pushed me to go all in. It was very difficult at times, and the messages I was seeing on social media made a difference. You all saved Hytale at the end of the day.
And that concludes the interview. So here are my thoughts. I think the move to buy back Hytale is one of the most commendable moves in the history of the gaming industry. There's no doubt in my mind that this move cost Simon millions of dollars, and he could have just as easily decided to not do it and move on. From the sound of things though, he profited big time, and now he's back. Whether or not you trust that he'll stick around for the long run is your decision to make, but I do. Simon has made the specific commitment on the announcement blog post that he's committing to funding the game for the next 10 years. So, assuming you believe it, now that Dad has finally returned home with the milk, where does that leave us now? Well, frankly, I'm just excited that Minecraft might finally have some legitimate competition. I've not exactly been thrilled with Minecraft's update cadence, and I've not been thrilled with how little regard Mojang has given to game-crippling issues that have been making the rounds around the time of this video's release. The idea that we as a community will have other block game options is exciting. Finally, we'll get to see the difference between how a game studio operates where one is locked behind layers of management, complexity, and seems to have no incentive to improve aside from pushing marketplace options 5% harder every month, and a game studio built like a lean, mean development machine where everyone in the food chain from the bottom to the top are legitimately thrilled to be doing what they're doing. I'm sure I'll have more to say as time goes on, but for now, I'm excited and ready to see what tales come next. So I hope you all enjoyed. My name is AntVenom. This interview was written by Michael McChill, and I bid you all farewell. Thanks so much for watching.